Hello and welcome to this video of Euro Truck Simulator 2. I know it has been a while since I've last uploaded a Euro Truck Simulator video. However, that will be coming very shortly. I've been very busy with life and work. I'll also be updating my American Truck Simulator series. But for now, this is a little different. As you can see from the truck I have on screen, something very new. A new update that had just come out from SCS Software, the Heavy Cargo Pack DLC, which brings 8 new trailers into the game, and it also brings an update. The DLC doesn't bring an update, SCS bring an update. So let's begin then by looking at the DLC specifically. We head over to About and to Trailer Browser. Now, by the way, this is not my main account that I'm using for my series. It's just one I found online, just because a lot of the customization that I'm going to be showing later on in this video I'm unable to show on my main account due to it being a low level. So I've downloaded one from the internet and it's the one I'm currently using now. So any vehicle you might see me using here will not necessarily be the one I'm using in my series. Now, if we head over to a single extendable flatbed, we have a new set of loads and a new trailer, of course. Now, the DLC brings 8 new loads, 4 on the single extendable flatbed and 4 on the semi-loader with drop deck, which I'll be showing straight after this. So, first of all, a very different looking trailer with a lot more axles. Now, all four of these axles at the back turn in conjunction with the truck steering. So, if your truck is steering right, then the trailer will also steer right, and this is a massive help when navigating tight turns, roundabouts, and mountainous roads, for example. So let's head into exploring the loads themselves. We first have an asphalt miller, the Rittigan 808, very detailed. You can even see all the stuff inside. Very, very detailed, very nice. And I'll move on to the trailer detail very shortly. Let's have a look at the loads first. We then have a dozer crawl. Again, a very, very detailed load, very detailed bulldozer, to the point where we can see inside and into the screen. Not sure what that says though. I've never been one inside, so I cannot tell you what that says. Next up, a locomotive, the Boss Lock. Again, very detailed, all necessary information printed on, very well made cargo. And last but not least, on the single extendable flatbed, the mobile crane Rex Tex 45. Again, the control panel inside very clear, very detailed loads. Now, one thing you may have noticed with these trailers is that they are all the same. Now, with the DLC, the trailers themselves, not the load, just the trailers alone, there are only 2 different trailers. We'll move on to the next one very shortly. All that changes is the load and the color. And now if we go into the trailers themselves, we can see they are very detailed. Speed limit stickers. Cannot tell you what that says, unfortunately. I'm not German. We have new set of tail lights. Of course, the turning axles. We have a little area here where, of course, the trailer would be hooked onto the truck. The detail is impeccable. Everything, every little detail you can imagine has been added. Every light, every reflector, every sticker. Very, very well done. And you will see the same with the semi-loader with drop deck trailers. Very well done. beacon, sticker, speed limit sticker. Again, the axles also turn, and a similar shape from the front with the last set of trailers we just saw. Now onto the loads themselves. We have industrial cable reel, we have concrete beams, we have metal centering, quite large this one, and a transformer. As you can see, these are, in terms of design, a lot more simple than the previous loads we all saw, which is of course expected. Those were all vehicles and such, while these are just industrial stuff. However, nonetheless, there has been impeccable detail once again. As you would see in real life, you see it here. Now, that is all for the DLC. All the DLC brings is new loads. So the 8 new cargo I've just showed you and the trailers is what comes with the DLC. You will not find these loads on other set of trailers, and you will not find this trailer and the aforementioned trailer carrying anything else but this new cargo pack. Now if we head back and let's go to job market and just have a little look at the weight of the new cargoes. So the heaviest of them all, the locomotive at 61 tons. We then have the mobile crane at 55 tons, concrete beams at 51 tons, the transformer at 47 tons, the asphalt miller at 44 tons, and for some reason the bulldozer is not here. However, the bulldozer itself, I can tell you, if I'm not mistaken, weighs 39 tons, and that's the least heaviest of them all. So there they all are with their weights. As for the concrete beams and the let me just check back onto what it was called. So the concrete beams and the not here. Oh, and the cable reel and the metal centering, I think they are just underneath the bulldozer, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot be 100% sure, as unfortunately they are not all displayed here and I do not have the information beside me. Now, if we were to take one of those jobs, so let's head to freight market, let's head to locomotive and set as GPS destination. We are greeted by a new window. Now, as you can see, we have our truck here, the truck configuration over here, and 5 new areas with bars here. Now, you may notice when I highlight each area, there are different highlighted areas in the truck configuration area. Now, what the highlighted areas are, what the highlighted areas are on the truck configuration side are in conjunction with what I've highlighted. So when I have my mouse, let's say on heavy cargo, everything in yellow is the, let's say, the strong point of heavy cargo. So what you need torque, you need a good first gear ratio and a differential ratio, you need a retarder, a higher axle count, and a large number of powered axles. Now, as you can see, the bar is quite high on heavy cargo and the truck is looking pretty monstrous. Now, I'll show you how this changes in the customization area. So if we just leave this and head over to the garage, upgrade shop, let's head over to chassis, and again we are greeted by the same window in a different layout. So if we now change to a, let's go all the way back down to a 4x2 chassis. As you can see, maneuverability has dipped down horrendously, and so has normal cargo, as a matter of fact. Now, we have the same sort of, highlights down at the bottom, and what still is highlighted is, what strong point there is on the truck in conjunction with maneuverability. So again, powered axles, axle count, retarder, differential ratio, first gear ratio, and torque for heavy cargo. So let's say I'm looking to do heavy cargo. Those highlighted points are what I need to look at and focus on. So I need to make sure I have enough powered axles. Axle count needs to be a lot higher. Retarder is there already, fortunately, and etc. really. So let's head back down to the 8x4 chassis, and you can see that normality is restored. The more or less almost everything goes up when you have a more powerful truck, which of course makes sense. Now this is again away from the DLC. This is just the updates that SCS released alongside the DLC. If you head over to transmission, as engine, there has not been any change. We have the normal 6-speed and 12-speed transmissions, but now you may also notice a 12 plus 2 speed transmission and a 12 plus 2 speed transmission with a retarder. Now, if I put that on and we have a little look up here, you can now notice that everything has gone up except normal cargo. This is because the extra gears and the extra 2 speed on the transmission doesn't have an effect on that. However, it does affect heavy cargo quite a bit, hills traversal, uneven terrain, and maneuverability. So, the optimal transmission to have on this truck for heavy cargo would be a 12 plus 2 speed transmission with a retarder. However, as I only have a 6-speed H shifter at hand, I will only use a 6-speed transmission. Now if you head over to paint jobs and go all the way down, you will notice we have 2 different sets of paint jobs. Can I just remind you, however, that this update, so where you see the new chassis and the new paint jobs, are only available for a limited number of trucks. So you will only find the update available to the Volvo FH I have shown here, the new version of the Mercedes Actros, and both the Scania R and Scania Streamline trucks. Any truck I have not mentioned is not part of the update, and so will not have the new chassis options and the new paint job options. Now, if you go over to special transports, you'll see a very similar look to the previous paint jobs that came with the last cargo pack DLC, just a different layout with different colors, but of course the colors are changeable, just like the previous paint jobs. So this is there, and this also changes from truck to truck. And this, however, so this new paint job that, as you can see, goes with the the new back area that comes with the 8x4 chassis, which also looks very nice, may I say. This differs from truck to truck completely. So the Scania has a different paint job, a completely different paint job. So does the Mercedes as well. And as for editing and tuning, everything remains the same. Nothing has changed. All options are as they were before, just of course there's more wheels, so more options for those wheels. So let's head out now and have a look at this chassis. First of all, truck looks very nice. Truck looks very, very nice. And as you can see, it has a turning axle with it. So let's find ourselves a trailer to hook onto and see the new DLC in action. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, we have found ourselves a trailer. However, the truck is very different and, let's say, less suited to the job than my Volvo was. And that was only because where I was located at the time, there was no jobs where I could load a heavy cargo anywhere near my vicinity, and so I've just taken a quick job with that very same load. So let's get moving and let's see how this trailer performs. I didn't say with this truck performs, however this truck should perform actually quite well. It is severely, let's say, I wouldn't say underpowered, but it's not as suited, let's say, as the Volvo was. It's not impossible to take this load, or a load such as this is the heaviest load in the game, with a 4x2 chassis. It is possible, it is doable, but you'll be having a lot more of a hard time than you would with a 8x4 chassis. For example, again, it is still very possible. Same with the transmissions. You can do it with a 6-speed, but you'd find it a lot easier to do it with a 12+2 speed transmission, if you get my gist. So we have somewhat of a tough turn to do here, and so let's see how this truck handles it. So we just get moving here. As you can see, you can automatically straight away see how the trailer is reacting to the vehicle turning. Let's move away. You can just see the distance there, the wheels. And now what you might notice is, if I stand still, or if my truck is not moving, and I move the steering all the way, let's say, to the right, the trailer wheels or the trailer axles will not respond. They will only respond once the truck is moving. So again, we are now moving. I will turn, and as you can see, the axles will only move and turn when the truck is doing so, not when it's not moving. As we straighten it out, the axles also straighten themselves out, and we have a tight turn navigated. If you just zoom in here, and let's see if there's any roundabouts around Nuremberg. Does not seem like it. However, I have navigated 2 tight turns now, which I would have struggled a lot more with a normal cargo loads, on a normal trailer, I believe. So funnily enough, it is now easier to navigate a heavy cargo vehicle than a normal cargo vehicle. But that's enough for now. I will continue that shortly. But I think that's all really. I've shown you the DLC, I've shown you the update itself, and I've shown you both in action. I hope I haven't missed anything out. If I have, I'm very sorry. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to respond as soon as I'm able to do so. I want to give props to SCS for a very, very, very well done update and DLC. Props to them for not making the chassis options and the paint job options DLC only, because not everyone that can afford the DLC. And the detail that's gone into paid DLC has been astounding. So massive thanks to SCS for that. As for my series, I will be continuing my series very shortly. As I said, I'm trying my best to find the time, although it's very hard with just life at the moment, and I'm working a lot more than I was before. So I'm trying, but I do promise something will be out shortly, whether it's American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator. Talking of American Truck Simulator, both update and DLC have not been applied to American Truck Simulator yet. There have been pictures released by SCS themselves of new loads on American Truck Simulator, although a very different format, let's say, due to different regulations and different road types. And as soon as that is released, I will also be doing a new look video at that as well. So if you've reached this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you've liked the video, dislike the video if you've disliked the video, and you are more than welcome to share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you very much and goodbye.